Right, it looks like folks have made their way in, so we will go ahead and get started here pretty soon. Annie, I will pass it to you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Hi, folks. Before we begin, please be aware that we are recording this webinar. If you have any questions about the resources, we encourage you to follow up via email at support@electionsgroup.com. So thank you for joining us today. My name is Annie, and I'm an election expert with the Elections Group.
Hey everyone, I'm Rebecca. I'm a communications and program manager here at the Elections Group.
For those of you who may be joining us for the first time, the Elections Group is an election administration consulting firm. We partner with state and local election officials to implement new programs or improve processes for voters and stakeholders. We provide guidance, resources, and direct management support for jurisdictions. Our team is made up of former election officials and election experts from across the United States. We're pleased to have you all with us today for our fourth highlight of resources for the election administration community. Each week, we'll showcase resources from the Elections Group paired with resources from other organizations in the election space. Every 4 weeks, we will focus on a different topic and we'll take a deeper dive into the resources available each week.
This month, we will focus on election administration and managing the elections process. This week, we are highlighting the Elections Group's Mapping Voting Locations with Google Maps and the Center for Tech and Civic Life's Geo-Enabled Elections resource. I actually am going to pass it back over to Annie really quick to talk about CTCL's Geo-Enabled Elections course.
Sure thing. Thank you, Rebecca. CTCL and the National States Geographic Information Council partnered to create a 5-part training series to explore the use of geographic information systems to increase the accuracy and reliability of election data. So as you all know, election officials manage more and more voting information these days, and errors in data like voter registration assignments can lead to a scenario every election administrator wants to avoid: voters getting the wrong ballots in the mail or at the polls. Integrating GIS with voter registration and other election processes can improve data accuracy, limit risk, save resources and time, and boost voter confidence. These geo-enabled election systems also provide opportunities for innovative interactive tools that help election offices do everything from inform voters about wait times on election day to update precinct maps during the recent redistricting process. Each course in this series highlights one of NSGIC's 5 best practices for geo-enabling elections, written by a team of election officials and their GIS partners. You can register for the courses in this free self-paced series at any time on CTCL's website. This series will help you to explore key concepts, terms, examples, and potential partners with case studies from local and state officials, implement best practices for developing, maintaining, and sharing geospatial information, and audit precinct assignments accurately so the right ballot gets to the right voter. This series is designed for state and local election administrators with the staffing capacity to facilitate technically complex cross-governmental partnerships, GIS professionals seeking to understand the specific opportunities and challenges of working with the elections offices and their data, or others looking for an overview of the scope and impact of geo-enabled elections approaches. You can explore all 5 courses or pick and choose which one to sign up for. Just keep in mind that content in each session builds upon topics covered in preceding courses. So these free courses are available now in a self-paced online format, allowing you to complete the training at your own pace on your own time. So you can learn more and register for the course at techandciviclife.org/course/geo-enabled elections. And we're going to share that link in the chat as well. So I will pass that over to Rebecca now to share the Elections Group's next resource.
Thank you, Annie. So this next resource is Mapping Voting Locations with Google Maps. Creating Google Maps for your vote centers, early voting sites, and ballot drop-off locations is a best practice for election officials. It's an excellent standard to provide an interactive, at-a-glance, and convenient web-based tool that voters can use to plan their trip to cast their ballot. By creating and sharing a Google map of your locations instead of just a static map, such as a PDF or a long list of locations, your voters can actually engage with the map, zoom in, zoom out, and click on a location that interests them. They can obtain dates of service, hours of operations, and an address. And voters can also generate walking, driving, public transportation, and biking directions directly in the map on your website. Once you've created your first map, you'll find that it's easy to create a new map for various needs and elections. Your maps will be hosted by Google, but managed and edited by you. You can use Google Maps in a variety of ways. You can embed the map onto your elections website, on your voting locations or where to vote webpage, then actively promote the link for that webpage and watch your visits rise. You can proactively share the link on social media as well, perhaps with a screen capture of the map, as your image or graphic, or just the link is great. If it generates that image, just the link is actually great and a best practice. You can send the link to candidates, issue committees, and community partners so that they can help educate voters, or better yet, share the embedded code with any other community partners who are willing to embed the map on their websites for voter information. Just note that they won't be able to edit that map. So they will simply have the necessary code for the map to appear on their website. They won't be able to change any information, which is good. And then you can also target a neighborhood or jurisdiction. So you can zoom in on your Google map and take a screenshot of a neighborhood, post the image on social media with a message such as, hey, blank neighborhood voters, did you know that there are 5 drop boxes in your area? They're open from, let's say, 10:26 to 11:05. Find them here, and then post the link. You can call out the ease of access on popular public transportation routes as well. Take screenshots of the map to show proximity to the bus, subway, light rail stops, things like that. And we encourage election officials to download this guide. It has step-by-step instructions, and you can get started implementing Google Maps in your jurisdiction. And I believe we have placed the link to that in the chat as well.
You sure have. Thank you so much, Rebecca. That's actually it for today. It was a quick resource share out, but we know that everyone's super busy these days, and we're more than happy to give you back 20 minutes to your day. So that's a wrap. Thank you everyone for joining us, and thank you, Rebecca, for a great discussion. As she mentioned, the resources today are in the chat, but as always, our inbox is open if you have any additional questions. Please email us at support@electionsgroup.com. Thank you, and we'll see you next week.